I believe that it would be better for Cardano if we combined our efforts into a limited number of wallets instead of trying to fix problems with new products.
What is going on, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central. My name is Fareed. Sitting to my left is going to be Shawn Roller, founder of the GeroWallet. Shawn, welcome aboard. Good to see you here at NFT LV. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Fareed.
Not a problem. Now let's jump right on in, right? So Cardano has a plethora of wallets, but GeroWallet is going to be one of those wallets looking to stand out. Do you mind just kicking us off with a brief overview of what the GeroWallet is and some of the features it has to offer?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's a few wallets on Cardano, which is there's pros and cons to that. I think mostly pros actually. But yeah, so I mean, we started off when there wasn't really a Dapp connector, MetaMask-like solution on Cardano, and several others had this similar idea. But yeah, I think we kind of focus more on the user experience and focusing on the non-power users. That sort of thing, and trying to make it an easier onboarding as much as possible from beginning to end. And that's one reason why we started, one of our early features was the fiat on-ramp, because people need to get onboarded into Cardano and make it as easy as possible. At the time, I believe no other wallets had a fiat on-ramp. But really our focus is on user experience the whole time, accessibility. That's something we always keep in mind in designing and making sure that it's not just crypto-focused people that can utilize the product, can use the wallet, but somebody that may not have the same knowledge level as maybe some of us in the crypto space, but even considering like eyesight impairment, that sort of thing. So when designing the product, having higher contrast font and stuff like that, information architecture is really well developed, so people aren't looking around trying to figure out things and getting really frustrated and stuff like that. So a lot of those things are important to us, and that's really what we focus on. And the other thing I want to add is that we currently are a wallet, and we're called GeroWallet, but the long-term vision is to drop the wallet and be more of a platform where you can control all of your finances on the blockchain through the Gero platform. So there's going to be the normal wallet functionalities, and we have the DEX aggregator, and we're starting to get further and further away from just the wallet kind of thing. And so we'll start adding, like access to index funds and synthetics and stuff like that. So integrating a lot of the great products that are already on Cardano, like Indigo or, a few of the others as well. So I don't want to mention anyone in mind, but yeah, the idea is we'll do a lot of integrations and make it so you only have to manage everything all in one place, that sort of thing. So your loans, your house deed, your NFTs, your on-chain music, that sort of thing. So.
Thank you for the wonderful and brief introduction. You touched on a few things there, which we're going to dive into a little bit further as this interview goes along. But the biggest thing that really caught my eye, aside from you guys dropping the wallet and going into an actual platform, which I think is going to be huge, but let's chat about that in a second, is going to be the user experience. So you have a background when it comes to user experience. Do you mind maybe touching on why you think user experience is such a huge thing in this space, and what are some of the somewhat hurdles or setbacks that you've kind of noticed with other wallets? Again, you don't have to name anything specific, but like what challenges have you noticed within the wallet space, and what are you guys aiming to do to potentially resolve those UX or user experience issues?
Yeah, definitely. So I think one of the motivations, one of the motivating factors of starting GeroWallet actually was my experience with MetaMask and Uniswap during the whole DeFi summer a long time ago. And, being somebody that's kind of more tech savvy on average than other people, just getting frustrated and not understanding how MetaMask was working. Why are my tokens not showing up in the wallet? Why do I have to import the token address, that sort of thing, or the smart contract address, which is different than Cardano, where the tokens are actually native. But and then Uniswap, like what is slippage, and why did my transaction just fail? Like if I go to a grocery store and buy some milk and eggs and use my Visa card, it doesn't fail. So all of these things are very new And so one of the motivating factors is try to improve there. And so it's transparency and communication and a few other UX factors. So I'm really trying to take my UX background and apply it to crypto, where it has a long way to grow, and especially with Gero too, we have a long way to go from a UX perspective as well. So it's a long-term journey, and the whole space has room to improve. But I think that's what it's all about. Like, even the tech boom and the internet way back in the day, like it didn't have a great UX from the start. So that's all part of the process. But I'm just trying to help push it forward.
Well said. And I think for me, when it comes to simplicity, especially with user interfaces, right, we're already in a niche where you have to be technically inclined to even be a part of the industry. And so for us to think that regular people who aren't inclined or who aren't, drawn or as invested as we are to be able to figure things out without a simple user interface, I think is just kind of ludicrous, right? So we have to make sure that these things are set up in a way that anybody, right? People like to talk about their grandma or their grandpa being able to be onboarded into Cardano using the existing tech and the existing user interfaces, which I think some platforms have kind of figured it out, and platforms like yourself, I think, are doing the best to make sure that that is the key focus moving forward. Now, let's just jump into some of the key aspects that GeroWallet provides, and then we're going to jump into some conversation surrounding a proposal. So GeroWallet has, I believe, a fiat on-ramp, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They also have a music player. There's also a DEX aggregator. Now, these are all things that you don't normally see within other wallets. A few other things that I've also started to see pop up has been the ability to hold SSI credentials, right? As well as even social communications within wallets now, right? To foster community. Why have you guys chosen to add some of these other features, and what can we potentially expect to see next in terms of new features outside of just the regular tokens within the wallet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we were looking at, what do people need to get started on crypto? What's kind of the low-hanging fruit, and especially that was the fiat on-ramp, right? People need to get onto Cardano. It doesn't make sense just to hand them a wallet that's supposed to be user-friendly, and they have to go through 3 other doors to get their crypto or something like that. So just trying to lower the barrier as much as possible, and just having that integrated fiat on-ramp is one step. So on the other end of it, to get people out of Cardano, because in reality, we're not in a space where everyone's accepting Cardano. So I imagine a scenario where one of our partners like Noom, an artist might upload their music and they get royalties from it. They've made some money, but they want to go buy some groceries or something like that. It's extremely difficult to go through all of those steps to try and get your money, out of a platform, that sort of thing. So one thing that we want to do in the future is work closely with dApps and products to make sure that people can, use their money, use the finances that they have, that sort of thing. So, one way would be kind of a fiat off ramp, and it's kind of tough right now because, it's not really supported by anyone. The liquidity providers aren't doing it right now. So, that's a challenge, but we're focusing more on the beginning of it right now, and kind of the middle, and what our priorities are right now. And the fiat off ramp, it does get requested a fair amount, but there's just other things that are being requested a lot more. So, but I think there was more to your question though. I kind of went down a rabbit hole a bit.
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on it, but like, what other features can we expect to see, right? Yeah. So we've also seen, for example, multi-pool delegation and things that are just coming into wallets that are starting to set them apart from the others. So what do you guys maybe have coming down the pipes that you're able to share with us?
Yeah. So the multi-pool delegation thing, that's a very interesting one, because that kind of came out seemingly without consideration for the dApps. So that creates a lot of work for the dApps, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily a good idea. So I think there's other products actually that are looking into doing that. I'm not sure that's really kind of our responsibility or something that we would want to offer, even though it would be nice. It's just so challenging with the dApps right now. So it's like you just have to navigate the space with, there's so much involved in it, and it's just not a high priority right now. But what to expect in the future. I know from the Gero side of things, we're working with Infinity Pools. The highest priority is to get the staking going live. So we just launched the second bridge event So for anyone that hasn't bridged their Gero tokens yet from Ethereum to Cardano, they can do that. And then the next in line is getting staking going live. And then we're going to be doing a lot of kind of upgrades. So for the DEX aggregator, and then a lot of the infrastructure and the back end to make things a lot smoother and faster. And then, I mean, we're looking at some partnerships that we're working with. So I think we're going to be tackling a lot of joint efforts there that will be announced at a later date. So.
Thank you for that answer. I think there's a lot to look forward to. And as I mentioned earlier, and maybe not on this particular chat, but I like to say competition brings the best, right? So as we continue to see more people bringing in different features, it forces other players to kind of step their game up and either implement the same features or features that are even better than those, right? To, again, make sure that they're still relevant in this space.
I think I do want to talk on that a little bit, actually, if you don't mind. It's interesting. So I think competition does help push people forward, but there's a point to where it has diminishing returns. So, you know, if you have 5 of the same products and they're kind of fighting over the same market, you know, it's possible that that could be healthy as long as there's enough of a market to sustain all of those products or businesses, that sort of thing. I don't know, like, you know, there's like Walmart and Target and other stores, kind of department stores competing over each other. But imagine if there was 100 of the same thing, right? Could any of them survive if they're all kind of doing the same thing? So in the wallet space, it does seem like there's continuing to be more wallets. And I feel like, I believe that it would be better for Cardano if we combined our efforts into a limited number of wallets instead of trying to fix problems with new products, because everyone's kind of doing the same thing over and over again. So let's work together to combine our efforts and be more efficient, instead of everyone doing, creating the same features and doing marketing and communications and meetings. And, you know, we're all doing the same thing. We're doing 10 times the amount of work that we need to do to push Cardano forward. So I think there is a limit. I don't know where that limit is, especially with wallets, but I think we've just passed it. I feel like we've just passed it. But what do I know, right? We'll see.
I mean, you're right. The wallet space is definitely saturated. It's really interesting to look at your perspective, because I'm wondering now, what kind of wallet will we get if we have like 2 or 3 of the top wallet providers like team up, and then they all put their effort and resource into building one platform that is then sort of like unified to where everybody benefits, right? It's the biggest probably in terms of market share, but then each project is included because they contributed to that in some way. So interesting perspective. I've not really thought about it in that way, but you're right. You know, we're basically fragmenting the market share with the more wallets that we have coming online. Let's pivot a little bit and jump into some recent news surrounding Project Catalyst. First and foremost, congratulations to you and the whole GeroWallet team for getting a proposal funded, which is going to be called the Cardano Shield proposal. Do you mind breaking down for the audience what Cardano Shield does and why it's needed in the space right now?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you everyone that voted for it. Really happy about it. Actually, the turnout in general for the GeroWallet proposals, I was really happy about. We had a ton of yes votes, and for the other 3 that didn't make it, they also just had a ton of no votes, which was really interesting. But the idea with Cardano Shield is that when somebody goes to navigate to a Dapp, we can say, hey, this is likely a trusted site, or you've navigated to the site before, or you've completed a transaction here before, that sort of thing. We could also integrate other like second, third party audits like the CCRI or Cerberus, that sort of thing. Really just to provide as much information as we can to inform the user and prevent them from interacting with malicious dApps and stuff like that. So that's when you connect to the Dapp. When you go to submit a transaction, we can also say, hey, you've submitted a transaction here before, or you haven't, or this seems super risky. We don't suggest interacting with this, that sort of thing. But it also will show a transaction before you click the transaction in the wallet. So it'll break it down and inform things in a better UX, that sort of thing. So even if you're using GeroWallet, it'll be a separate thing if you choose to have it, to break it down and tell you everything about it. And then you go to GeroWallet and send it, so you don't accidentally send any bad transactions.
Thank you for the explanation. And when it comes to Catalyst, right, I think a lot of people are always expecting an open source product or a product that benefits the broader ecosystem. So as a part of Cardano's Shield, understanding what it is now, right, it would be a huge benefit to GeroWallet, but do you also plan on having this be compatible with other wallets, or is it something that's going to be a solution that's built only for the GeroWallet?
The idea right now is for it to be open source, period. I think anything that's funded by Catalyst should be open source. It just makes sense to me. And then we're planning for it to be a separate extension. So it'll be compatible with Cardano wallets, yeah.
That's really exciting to hear that many other wallet providers in the ecosystem, as well as the end users, right, which I think are the biggest priority here, will be able to be protected using something like Cardano Shield. So again, thank you for that. Now, as we get ready to wind things down, there's something that I want to jump into that I didn't get to talk to you about in my prior interviews. That's going to be the Gero token and the tokenomics surrounding the platform. Do you mind touching on, what the benefits and utility of the token are, and why exactly you guys have chosen to structure things the way you guys have?
Yeah. So the first thing that's active right now is access to premium features. And one of the first premium features we put out is the actual music player that we have built into the wallet on the extension and mobile. So if you have your music NFTs, you can play it through the music player. If you have 10,000 Gero, then you automatically have access to it, that sort of thing. If you don't, there's a trial. You can still try it out and see if you like it, that sort of thing. And basically, if you have 10,000 Gero, you can use it forever. There's no subscription fee every month, that sort of thing, like Netflix or Spotify. And I guess it's kind of a nice thing, because if you go to pay Spotify or Netflix, you send that money, it's gone. But with Gero, you still hold it. It's just getting access to the player, and then you can do whatever you want to with it as well. So it's a little bit nicer than a subscription model, I think. But the other idea is to expand the premium features as well. So something like analytics, and eventually I'd like to put predictions into the wallet as well. So we can use some like AI or machine learning to be able to kind of quasi predict where prices could go. That could be a nice thing. I think analytics will be a big thing. So like graphs and charting, that sort of thing, right there in your wallet, so you don't have to navigate outside. So basically, imagine what you get with like DEX tools or TradingView or Tap tools right now. Kind of have that there in the wallet. But the other thing for the token is we would like to make it to the point to where stakers are getting rewarded based on the DEX aggregator or the revenue that the product is making. And then another thing, we're looking to do a lot with the token long term, but the other big thing is governance as well. So you can't really have a decentralized wallet without tokenomics and governance, that sort of thing. So giving it up to the community to decide where things are going to be going moving forward. You can think about maybe the fees that are required for the swapping or DEX aggregator, that sort of thing, or what percentage goes to stakers and what percentage goes to the treasury, those sorts of things, and really just kind of decisions that come up along the way that are hot topics that need to be decided and go to the community instead of a few people on the team, that sort of thing. And so I think where it is now, it's the builders making a lot of the decisions, but I really like to hand this over to the community to make these decisions instead. And so that's a longer term vision.
Thank you. Just to recap, if I understand it correctly, that's going to be governance, access to premium features, and potentially staking in the near future. The very last thing I want to jump into as a part of today's video, Shawn, is going to be to get your closing thoughts. We're here in Vegas, NFTLV. You're right around the corner, so this is kind of like home for you. But what's been your thoughts as to this particular event? Is there anything else that you also want the community to walk away with as a part of this interview?
For me, it's been great so far. I've been helping out at the Noon booth, actually doing some research, but I've just been talking to so many people. Like it's great to have these events and actually meet the community. It's a much different experience, and I think it makes the community a lot tighter. And it's good to be in Vegas and have some fun as well. So I think this is a great event. So thank you, Adam, and everyone else that's been putting on NFT LV. But it's been a great experience so far, and I haven't even had a chance to go out and see all of the booths yet. So I need to go and do that. I tried to a little bit earlier, and I made it one booth and got stuck in just talking to everyone. So I'm going to give it a go again.
Yeah, I had to give it a few goes, and I still haven't made it halfway around. So I completely understand. Last thing I want to just jump into, for anybody who wants to get connected with the Gero community, what's the easiest way for them to do that?
Yeah, we have our Discord and Telegram. It's probably the easiest to join and then get in there and chat. We also have the website. We have our Twitter. And yeah, on our website, we have a contact us. So if you have anything you want to say to us or reach out to us, you can send us a message there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Roller from the Gero team, breaking down all of their latest news, as well as Cardano Shield, which I'm really excited for. Now, I know earlier I mentioned that we were going to jump into some of the removal of the wallet from GeroWallet, so I would love to have you on for an additional interview in the future to touch on that. But as always, for the viewer, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content like this surrounding the top builders in Cardano, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you guys have any questions for myself or Shawn, then make sure to leave them down in the comments section below. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.